Hi guys, it's S.L.Ager here, author of the Cadwallader Quest, Tangled Time. For those parents who are not too familiar with the book, this is what the cover looks like. Okay, there's also a workbook now, which was written with Education Boutique, which is fantastic. And there's also a vocabulary revision notebook. That's quite a mouthful to say. Vocabulary revision notebook. And that's a place where children can record their own words. And there's now also 1,000 word list at the back, which is an extra bonus, which I've recently added. Lots of people contact me and ask me about how to pronounce the Welsh names. So the book is an adventure mystery for boys and girls. It's set in North Wales. It's been written for the 11 plus and SATs and entrance exams to include challenging vocabulary. So if your child doesn't like reading classics or doesn't like reading what my son called wordy books or flowery books, literary books, then this book might be for you. I wrote it for my son, and the aim was to get all that tricky vocabulary under one roof and then define it on the pages along with synonyms and antonyms and parts of speech. And that's what I did. Very quickly, I'm just going to show you the page layout. And then, so the story is at the top. The keywords are bolded, and the definitions, synonyms and antonyms and parts of speech are all at the bottom. It's a 50,000 word novel. The story will probably go over 3 or 4 books, will be concluded in book 3 or book 4. They can be read alone, but I would read them in chronological order. Book 2, which is called Race for the Gold, is going to be released in March, and I'm absolutely thrilled with that book. I'm really excited, really pleased with it. But anyway, the reason for this video today is I get a lot of people emailing me and PMing me asking me how to pronounce the Welsh words in the book. Now, don't be afraid, there's not many. It's just character names, some of them are Welsh. So I'm going to very quickly go through the names and tell you how to pronounce them, should you be interested. I have got it on a piece of paper, so I'm really sorry if the paper's ruffling, and also I'm really sorry if one of my 2 border terriers barks. One of them's just jumped up here. I'm here, Blossom. Say hello. So this is one of them. This is Blossom. Hello, Blossom. And the other one is fast asleep over there by the back door, Eric, who is her brother. Right, anyway, you don't speak Welsh, do you? Okay, let's get going. Okay, so the book's name, it's Cadwallader. There is actually an English version of the name Cadwallader, and it's just spelt Cadwallader with a D-E-R, as you would imagine, but this is the Cadwallader Quests. Okay, so that's how you pronounce the title. The prince in it, he's got a name and which begins with a double L, which we don't use in English, and that is so you pronounce his name Llewellyn. Lots of people would say Llewellyn or Llewellyn, but and there are different spellings as well, but I've spelled it in the really Welsh way, which is Llewellyn, okay? Then there's Gladys, that's an easy one. I'm actually not even sure if that's Welsh, but I think it probably is. Then there's the name Gwilym, and Gwilym is roughly translated, I believe, into William in English, so it's Gwilym. Then there's the baddie, and he's called Dewi, and that's again roughly translated as David, so Dewi. I'm not going to say Claire because Claire's English, but Claire, I had to mention Claire. Then there's Owain, which we have got a very similar name in English, which is Owen, but Owain. Then Anwen, so that's a very easy one. You pronounce that just as you say it. And then there's talk of the legend. It's all based around a legend, a dog called Gelert. So that's an easy one, Gelert. The gem, how do you pronounce the gem? So, and I do allude to this in the story, but it's probably much easier if it's audible. And it's called the Gwalch gem. So CH in Welsh is a bit like lock in Scottish. So, but it's more accentuated. So it's gwalch. So gwalch gem. But I mean, if you struggle, just say gwalch, which is what most English people do when they try and pronounce that name. And in actual fact, it means hawk. And when I lived in Wales, I lived in a village called Gwalchmai, which means the hawk comes in May. And that's where I got my influence for that. And also the fighter jets that are in the story, they are Hawk T1s. So everything blends together. So Ynys Môn is the Welsh word for Anglesey. That word only appears once. But just in case you want to know how to say it, it's Ynys Môn. And it's the Welsh for Anglesey. Bedd Gelert. So Bedd Gelert means grave. Gelert is the name of the dog who is supposedly buried there. And my whole book the premise is hooked around that legend. But I'm not going to give you any spoilers. Bangor, that's where train gets Clare to. Where Clare gets the train to. And it's the big city on the mainland just before Anglesey. Has a great university. Just before you get to Bangor, there's a place called Pen Maen Mawr. And that's where Claire stops on the train. And I do actually say she thinks it's an unpronounceable name. And to the unseasoned ear and tongue, yes, Pen Maen Mawr. And then the bridge that she crosses is the Menai Bridge. Menai, so the AI is pronounced just as an I, so Menai. And the word that she's called constantly, and she's not sure what it means, and I'm not going to tell you because that would be a spoiler in the book as well if you've not read it. Cariad, okay? So Cariad is pronounced Cariad, and that's actually quite easy. And then the last one is the word diolch, which in Welsh means thank you. It doesn't appear a lot in the book, but that's how you say it. Now, please don't be put off by these Welsh words because they do not appear very often. They are just there. They're peppered throughout the story to give it authenticity for the setting. So don't be put off by it. And, I just wanted to give you an idea of how to say them. So I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy the book. Really excited about book 2 coming out in March, Race for the Gold. There will be a book 3 for sure. I may conclude the story, but if I can't, it'll probably be 4 books. Anyway, thank you for listening. Bye. Bye. Bye.